As the crew soars through the clouds, even the elusive Sky Titan reveals itself, reminding Adelgis that legends may be born from death and fall. In Fortuna, the council chamber is shockingly empty, and Volke must rally a city that would rather hide than fight. A bold plan is formed and a surprise proposal is made, and Lucian returns not just with a ship, but with a vengeance that ignites an explosive duel with Evianna. Old grudges and secret loyalties boil over just as a new mission takes form, hunting the Corona Phoenix across air and sea. Love, war, and legacy collide in chapters 21 through 25 of Grandmaster Arcanist.
Welcome back to the Frith podcast. I'm your host, Eric.
I'm co-host Scott.
And today we're going to go over chapters 21 through 25 of Grandmaster Arcanist. Before we get into today's episode, we only have a couple more weeks before DragonCon nomination deadline. So if you have not voted, please go vote. All right, deadline's July 19th. Let's get Shammy that W.
Go vote.
And with that, we will get into chapter 21 today.
Chapter 21 is flying home, so they are soaring up into the sky. And one of the cool things is as they go through the clouds, they're actually able to see the outline of the Sky Titan, which they weren't really able to see before. And it does have, those four wings kind of separated from the body. It is very, very cool and a very neat experience for them to have been kind of attacked by this thing, but have never really seen what it looks like other than like an outline in ice. So a very fun moment for them. As they're flying, Adele just makes a comment that he does think that there's probably a mythical creature that spawns if somebody falls and dies. So if you do fall and die, at least you'll be a fable birth, I guess.
Right, but I'd rather not test that.
He's not even sure about it. He's like, probably. Like, pretty good odds. They do eventually have to make a stop for Bayou. She has to go to the bathroom, but she doesn't want Devlin to tell them. So it's very sneakily, so nobody knows, stopping for her. And there's this kerfuffle, little argument where Zaxxas is mad that she's even going. He doesn't understand it. Orwin and Linus are both cool with it. They're kind of like, well, she's Devlin's partner, we need Devlin, she's going to ride along. I think Linus is also sitting there like, we've got 4 God Arcanists, like if anything comes, like we can probably take care of her.
Like, realistically speaking, I don't think she's going to be a problem.
No, just like hang back. If bandits show up, just hang back, we'll take care of it. Like, Terracana can just wrap her up and she'll be good to go. They do finally reach Fortuna, so it takes much longer than Volke thought it would. He was expecting that, in his mind, oh, we'll fly for a couple hours. Turns out it's a lot of hours that they have to fly. They have to make several stops just so people can get out, stretch their legs, use the bathroom. But they do finally make it back to Fortuna, and they go to see the council, and they walk into an empty room.
I think Volke was expecting like a bullet train, when in fact they actually got onto like a steam engine.
Yeah. He's like, oh, it's super fast, it's the wind. Well, the wind's not really that fast. Like, so they're just kind of...
You're not teleporting.
No, they're just kind of chugging along.
And with that, we pick up into chapter 22, results or excuses. I love that everybody's just like, well, why don't you know where we're supposed to be right now? He's like, I just went to the place that we were in last time, I guess.
Which I've definitely done before. We're like, oh, we weren't meeting at the same restaurant? Awkward.
They did leave a note for him, though, because they knew that he was going to do that. So they finally get to the correct room, and we only have the Master of Coin and the Mayor. And they basically are like, well, we only entered into this fealty because we want your protection. We don't want to actually fight. And they're kind of like, so I don't know why you're wanting us to send messages to other people to get their soldiers ready, because like we're not really like fighting people.
They're like, we'll get you an airship though.
Oh yeah, no problem. That's easy. So Volke kind of goes back to the group and basically is kind of like, hey, how do I press them to get this information, get them to agree? Linus, and again, I love Linus coming out of nowhere and being like, well, I mean, They're just giving you you need to ask them that they can have results or excuses, but not both. And we've seen this throughout the entire series. Volke gets these like one-line comments, and he can just take with it and run, and it's not really directed towards anything in particular, but he does a great job with it. He ends up coming with this awesome plan of, well, if you're not going to fight with me, then okay, I will defend you. I will completely surround your port and cut it off from everybody else so that there's no possible way that the Autarch can come and attack your city. And then we're gonna like go down the way here a bit and find another port that we can use as our battle essentially, or our ship off point, and completely kill all of your trade.
It's so perfect. It's like, oh, you want protection? Here's protection.
I will give you all of the protection. This very quickly causes the two council members to change their mind and realize that they will in fact send out messages and try to enlist as many soldiers as possible. We get back to the estate, and him and Evianna are just kind of walking around having a chat, and he's finally kind of like getting a chance to catch up on how to talk to them. And Evianna kind of stops, and she's just like, you have not formally proposed to me yet.
And as Volke, he's just thinking, I'm aware.
Like, yeah, okay, like, and there's Evianna kind of just goes off on him and asks Volke to marry her because she knows that Volke isn't gonna like go on to ask her. So then Volke's like, well, wait, what do we gift each other? Because I don't have anything to give you. And he did mention tattoos. That would be pretty BA.
It's not a bad idea.
No, not at
It
all.
fits. It's very. They get little nightmare tattoos.
Exactly. Evianna ends up pulling a box out and gives it to Volke as her item, gifting to him. And it is a glitter crab. And I love the full circleness of when they first met. She was looking for a glitter crab for... we will discuss about her because I don't want to bring up past emotions.
She who will not be named.
Yes. So again, love that she thought about this as her item, gifting to Volke.
It is very cute. Though she couldn't catch one before, so I don't know how she got this one. If I had Lay, she'll get it for her.
I was gonna say probably Lacial.
That brings us to chapter 23, the Nightmare Duel. So they are back in the estate. Lucian shows up. He pretty much is like, yo, I got a boat. Do you need a boat? And mentions that he wants to help Volke out. Adele just kind of chimes in and is like, Volke, he really just wants revenge. He's really just looking for Akiva. And Volke's like, okay, cool. I just won't mention Akiva. We'll leave. We'll go on the boat, the adventure. Nobody ever has to know Akiva's there. He comes back into the living room. Evianna already told Lucian that Akiva was there. Lucian is now pissed. He is like, no me gusta. He says, I'm going to kill you. Evianna says, well, if you're going to try and get to him, you got to go through me. There's a little like triangle of people that Lucian's got to go through. And they break out into a nightmare duel.
Can I say with Lucian real quick? Every time I read his name, I think of Lucian Lachance from The Elder Scrolls. That name is forever engraved in my brain of The Elder Scrolls. I don't know if there's a connection to Lucian from The Elder Scrolls or not, but...
Little tribute.
Random thoughts. And that brings us to chapter 24, Lucian. So Evianna and Lucian start fighting. Volke is standing on the sideline, and I can imagine him just kind of eating some popcorn. Like, I'm intrigued. But I'm not going to step in unless I have to, because she's holding their own.
And she'd be pissed if he stepped in, honestly.
Right. She don't need no man. Even though, hence why she proposed to him. Out of nowhere, Orwin sends a gust of air down the hall as they're tearing shit up and causes the fight to stop. Volke casually is like, okay, Orwin, stop with the wind. So with Akiva, we're at that spot of like, was he just following orders from the Autarch? Because he did kill Queen Valletta, and in all reality with that one, she kind of deserved it before the Autarch even came into thought. Because she had all of the basilisks murdered. And we gotta remember, like, basilisks are all about family. Like Dom from, Fast and the Furious.
Mafia.
Family!
Oh. Even better.
So, we know that this is a pretty low blow. What do you think? Do you think he was strictly following orders with killing Queen Valletta?
I think this is one of the ones where, like, it was on his to-do list, and the Autarch was like, hey, can you do this? And he's like, oh, cool, I've been wanting to do this for a while. Now I've got a good reason to actually go do it, and it's not just, like, on my head. I get to say somebody else told me to do it. Probably got paid for it, too, honestly.
She probably, I mean, hell, and he gets the resources of all the other Arcanists backing him.
Yeah, everyone else that they needed for the plague, for the Requiem aura, he was, instead of having to do it on his own, he got full backing.
Yes. He shouldn't have killed her, but again, we can, as we're getting more of a backstory from Akiva, we can understand a little bit better about his motives, at least for Queen Valletta. The rest of everything else, but this brings up an interesting point with Orwin, as Volke is already thinking about it too. Like, can't just forgive Akiva for all of the sins that he's committed, regardless of why or who he was fighting with. Orwin does say that she's going to answer for Akiva's crimes, but we'll take care of this after we get done with the war, because there's a lot going on here. Just as we think things are settling down, Zaxxas comes slamming in with ice and snow and stuff like that. And he's like, where's the fight? I want to get in on this fight too. Like, what's going on? Nobody invited me.
He's like, things are broken, but it's all friends. I don't know what's happening.
Where's the threat? Lucian thinks and ends up agreeing to help with the ultimate mission of taking down the plague. He's going to be a big boy and grown up and put some of this aside for the time being and continue to help Volke with destroying the plague.
That brings us to chapter 25, heading north. So Terrakanna does suggest that they go after the Corona Phoenix. It's kind of the next creature in line. Adelgis asks Volke, can I bring my sister? Which is kind of a strange request at first, but Volke knows how close they are. And kind of same thing, they're bringing Bayou. Cinna's not exactly a fighter, but probably isn't at danger with everyone else that's going on the mission. So it's probably not a big deal to bring her along. Plus, there also is another crippled boy there going as well, who we haven't really met, but we realize is the Keeper of Corpses Arcanist. So a little bit of bonding there, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but a little bit of, empathy between each other at least. So it's kind of nice to have, two people who pretty much been shunned their whole life have someone else that they can connect with.
Ooh, I like that. I didn't even think about that aspect of it.
Yeah, Ezra was pretty much following Orwin just because she was nice to him, and Cinna's going to be nice because she's gone through the same thing he has. So it's a positive situation for them, I would say.
Yeah.
They are set to head out. So between Lucian's boat and the airship that they got from the council, they've got a lot of space. Volke ends up telling Zaxxas that he's betrothed. Zaxxas is like, okay, cool, me too. So apparently nobody tells anybody about these things. Like, Ilya hasn't told Volke, like, oh, by the way, got engaged. But he does mention that essentially that he's like, there's this huge war that is brewing. We don't really know what's going to happen. And I want to marry Ilya before something bad does happen, whatever that is. So very, very actually forward-thinking and romantic of him.
I also love how nonchalant Zaxxas was. Like, yeah, we're also betrothed.
Slide that in there.
And with that ends this week's chapters for Grandmaster Arcanist. Next week, we are going to be going over a few more short stories from Arcanist Fables. Again, let's let everybody, or let's let Shammy know that we want more. I know I posted on her page and seen a lot of people posting, and I appreciate it. Let's keep flooding her with wanting more Arcanist Fables so that we get more, because we want more.
So there's plenty of other storylines to explore. I know we always talk about Eventide and Gilly and Zelfrey. I think there's a lot of good opportunity out there.
Absolutely. But tune in next week. We will be going over the few more chapters from that. And for those that are in the United States that are watching this when this comes out, hope you guys have a safe and happy 4th of July. Don't lose any fingers over the holiday. With that, we will catch you guys next week.